So I don't normally do disclaimers, but I have to for this movie. It is about a white cop shooting a unarmed black man. If you're sensitive to that sort of thing, and you probably should be, so basically no one watch this fucking review. Onto the movie. If you're still with us, this is a review for the 1975 movie Deadly Hero. It begins with a cop of questionable quality harassing a interracial couple. Turns out, though, they're kind of scumbag scammers, and the woman has a jukebox shoved up some part of her body because there is not enough skirt to cover what falls out of her.
They busted you from detective to patrolman. The next slot for you is janitor. Well, looky here.
That stupid crack. I told her to stay out of my sector. I'm gonna bust her two-bit butt. Up here on the wall, you punk! Fight the place, watch your ass! Against the wall! Come on! Give her the job! On the wall! Let him, sweetheart! Mary, I am gonna bust your ball!
Then, out of fucking nowhere, James Earl Jones is in this movie? What?
I beg your pardon, sir.
Oh, the pleasure was all mine.
Hey, let me run it for you. Take a look in that box for me, will you?
Sir. Excuse me. Reservations for Ambassador Shazam.
Yes, sir.
Even more incomprehensible than the fact that James Earl Jones is in this weird old movie is that he's going to see a show that is naked interpretive dance backed by the band Blondie. Like, Debbie Harry Blondie is in this fucking movie. In 1975, 3 years before they started releasing albums in America. So, Ambassador James Earl Jones there ends up kidnapping the conductor of this performance and makes her think he's going to rape her, but he's actually extorting her father. I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to extort the father out of, because I can't understand what the hell he's saying, and he may just be making shit up.
Gets to ass up.
Whoever you are, please don't hurt me.
Shut the fuck up. Ms. Devereaux, former Navy brat, is the daughter of Admiral and Mrs. John Devereaux of Boston.
What are you gonna do?
Well, if you can up your ankle, you can up your red, right?
For some reason, they dance for a minute. This is where the point that I warned you about earlier happens, and yeah, a cop just straight out murders him. The phone call you hear at the end of the dancing is her neighbor She complains about getting a bad review for her show. Even though the review is glowing, the neighbor catches on and calls the police.
Break your legs, Sambo! Come on out, man! Come on. Easy there, Jim.
As you may have been able to tell by her non-stop screaming, she was slightly traumatized by this experience and isn't able to give a completely clear statement of exactly what happened. Somehow she's allowed to be given a ride home by the cop that she's making a statement about. And he will not stop talking about anti-cop violence in the city.
And your assailant turned on the officer with a knife. Your assailant, he turned on the officer with a knife, right? What do you mean you don't know?
I can't remember.
See this brownstone building right here? See that one right there? That's where they got that cop last month. Remember reading about it in the papers? They got this cop, they chopped him up in little pieces, put him in plastic bags, and spread him out in garbage cans all over the city. Happened right there in that brownstone.
So the cop becomes famous, and a guy running for mayor of New York City ends up having him as his go-to guy. Oh my God, he saved a woman from being raped.
You just say what you feel. That's good enough for us. There, come on. Let it wait a while. Because when we step through that door, it's you and me together. Right down the line to Gracie Mansion.
What do you mean?
I mean, every time I'm up on a platform from here on in, I want you up there with me.
So the cop is considered a hero for saving a famous conductor. He basically makes his wife yell upper echelon of society while they bang, but the victim, she sees him buddying up with the mayor, decides that she should probably tell the truth about what actually happened, and then he finds out, brings her to a bar where the actress that will play Berta in 2.5 Men 30 years later tells a story about him shooting a guy armed with only a knife.
Heroes, like Officer Edward Lacey, will not only be guarding our homes, our sidewalks, our businesses, and our lives, they will be placed in key positions in the higher echelons of our city government. On that, I give you my word.
I get a flippo in here about 5 years back. Cuts up one of my waitresses' hamburger.
Sure, it's
So little boy Blue here comes through that door. He tells the flippo, he goes, "Drop that knife!"
With a bit
Flippo charges and pretty boy here gets off 5 rounds before he takes the knife right in the chest.
Come on, Eddie, now get out of here.
Right.
Scram, I mean it.
I hate modesty. Gave me show you a scar, honey.
And oh yeah, she orders a Boilermaker, which I thought was really weird because where I'm from, a Boilermaker means half a pint of beer with a shot dropped in your shoe. In this case, it just means a beer with a shot back. But still, why is she ordering shots when she's out with a guy she just testified against in a murder case? She didn't testify against him. She made a statement against him. They're different things. You're a dummy.
Rocks for the law and a Boilermaker for the lady.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you. How you been, Ed?
There's a large-scale investigation. They recreate the crime, do all sorts of forensics. Everybody argues with each other, and most importantly, The local newspaper has a pun-filled headline about the case. Seriously though, lady conductor changes tune is fucking hilarious. At this point, things start to spiral out of control pretty quickly. She teaches young children on the cello how to play music. He shows up to the school and threatens her. He hires a thug to scare her, and the thug gets a little out of control and almost runs her over with a fucking car. Her resolve is the only deepened. She goes to the police, tells them all this is going on. So they tell the cop to take a few vacation days because threatening to kill someone and killing an unarmed man is not even a suspendable offense in 1975, probably not in 2020 either. He goes to the mayor and ends up getting replaced. So he's talking to some random army guy with the same "we're going to go to Gracie Mansion together" speech. So he kidnaps the woman, tries to kill her, and then the most amazing thing happens. The only reason I'm reviewing this movie, she stabs him with the fucking cello. A dude gets stabbed with a cello in this movie. Overall, I wish there had been more of the stuff promised in the description of the movie. That he becomes a hero to everyone and is brought down, but he's a hero for like a day and like only to his wife, really. Uh, as soon as the mayor sees the second headline, says, "Oh, come loose," and he's just replaced. So it's a big deal to him, but I wish it had been a bigger deal to the world. The other cops do think something weird's going on to start off, think that this was a bad guy, or maybe that she led James Earl Jones on. But as soon as she changes her story, they're like, do you believe her? Like, if it was another cop, no, but it's Lacey and he's an ass, so yeah, he probably murdered a black man for no reason. This one is directed by Ivan Nagy. He directed a couple episodes of Chips and Starsky and Hutch, cop shows, and then moved on to hardcore porn. Sure. He did direct a movie called Skinner that I might look into one day. Ricky Lake is in it for some reason. Fine. Stars Don Murphy. He was nominated for an Oscar back in the 50s for a Marilyn Monroe movie called Bus Stop. Worked pretty regular up until like 2000s. Diane Williams, the conductor. This is her last role. She didn't really do anything in note. Treat Williams, action star and later Hallmark Family movie actor. Great Twitter account. He this is his first film. He plays the partner of the main cop. And somewhere, according to the credits, Danny DeVito's in this movie too, but I didn't see him. Yeah, despite being a New York City movie, I wish the world had been bigger. I wish it had had an impact on everybody instead of just one person. James Earl Jones, I can barely understand him in this movie. It's very early in his career, and he's playing a foreign ambassador. That wasn't really gotten into either. I don't know who this guy was supposed to be, whether he was lying or what. I don't know what his plan was. The description just calls him a deranged crook, so that's no help. Was really shocked when he showed up in this movie, though. It's fine. Yeah, it's just fine. It is crazy that she stabs him with a freaking cello. I think it ends up working. The ending's kind of ambiguous, but I think he ends up bleeding to death from cello stab wounds. The thug they hires, he buries in a pet cemetery, so that's weird too. Mostly I reviewed this movie though, not because someone gets stabbed by a cello. I didn't know that until the end. It's because I saw another movie called Deadly Heroes with Michael Paré that I'm reviewing next. Here is a clip of that movie. Thank you for watching, and as always, I shall try to do better next time. Riveting, I know.